On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu launches expatriate employment levy. Federal government enrolls around 50,000 Nigerians into health insurance scheme. Federal government says Nigerians wouldn't lose their jobs. On the foreign scene, Hong Kong scraps property taxes to revive housing markets. And on sport, Victor Osimhen gives to young fan 2.5 million naira for imitating his style. Hello and welcome to all the viewers of Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Deacon Michael. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has launched the Expatriate Employment Levy (EEL), a mandatory contribution imposed on organizations that employ expatriate workers in Nigeria. This was as he promised that his administration is putting measures in place to overcome the prevailing situation in the country as soon as possible. The president also stated that he was confident that the levy will improve revenue, indigenizations, and balancing employment opportunities in the country. Tinubu described the initiative as a game changer, says it is important to know that EEL is a contribution recently approved by the government, which will impose an effective timeline on expatriate working in this country to be able to train and develop Nigerians. President Bola Tinubu is expected to arrive in Ondo State soon for the condolence visit to the family of the late Governor Rotimi Akeredolu in Owo. It was learned that the president will visit the lower of Owo Kingdom, Oba Abide Oganaye, after which he will visit the national leader of Pan-Yoruba socio-political organization, Afenifere Reuben, in Akure, the state capital. The president is expected to make the visit in company of the state governor, Lucky Ayuda-Otua, and some national and state leaders of All Progressive Congress. The Senate has approved President Bola Tinubu's request to sack the Federal Competitions and Consumer Protection Commission Executive Vice Chairman, Babatunde Irukera. Tinubu, in the letter read at the plenary by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, says it was demanding the sack of Irukera based on inefficiency. According to FCCPC Act, the President needs the approval of the National Assembly to sack the Executive Vice Chairman of the Commission. However, Tinubu had in January sacked Irukera and the Director General CEO of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Alexander Oko, with immediate effect. After the deliberation, the request was put to a voice vote where the ayes had it and the President of the Senate hit the gavel. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, has disclosed that the federal government had enrolled about 250,000 Nigerians into the National Health Insurance Scheme. Pate said these are the third edition of the ministerial press briefing series initiated by the Ministry of Information in Abuja, noting that the President Bola Tinubu-led administration will unveil a comprehensive program to digitize the nation's healthcare system in the next 2 weeks. The briefing series was initiated to provide a platform for public officials to reel out the achievements and appraise Nigerians on the challenges of the governors. The special advisor to the President of Health, Dr. Salma Anas Ibrahim, had in August 2024 said the federal government will provide health coverage to over 50 million Nigerians, especially the vulnerable and the elderly people, by 2027. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, on Wednesday, is fear of job losses after the implementation of the Ransaya report. Idris disclosed this in a statement signed by his media head, Rabiu Ibrahim. 12 years after it received the Stephen Ransaya report, the federal government on Monday approved the implementation of some of its recommendations to reduce the cost of governors. Consequently, 29 government agencies will be merged, even as 8 parastatals will be subsumed into 8 other agencies. And the Federal Capital Territory Administrations inaugurated one of the private sector transportation schemes to provide secure and efficient mass transit in Abuja. The inauguration of the 14-high capacity air-conditioned bus was said to be the beginning of a transportation system designed to end the menace of robbery through a so-called one-chance syndicate in the city. Inaugurating the buses, the Mandate Secretary of Transportation of the FCT, Obagutum, had noted that FCT Minister Nyesom Wike had the vision of changing the narrative of the transportation system of Abuja. He had revealed that many other private sector investors were expected to join in the effort to provide alternative sources of transportation that will be reliable and affordable. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Vision Limited, a United Kingdom-based weather and climate services consultancy, to partner in key areas that will lead to improved service delivery by the agency. Speaking at the MOU signing, the NIMT Director General Charles Anisike said the partnership will further strengthen the agency's commitment to providing world-class weather and climate information services to the Nigerians and various industry sectors that it serves. Those present at the event include the Executive Director of Legal Services of NIMET, Shalo Gabriel, and other staff of the agency. Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo has disclosed that 5 people were killed while 26 others were rescued when a 2-story building collapsed at a Aduibo Market, Ochenja in Onitsha. The governor spoke at the site of the collapsed building in Onitsha. According to Soludo, rescue efforts are still ongoing to serve those still trapped under rubble. The governor also stated that the state governor will pay the medical bills of those receiving treatment in the hospital. He expressed deep condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in the ugly incident. Soludo also ordered the contractor handling the collapsed building to clear the debris at his own cost. He says the impunity of building with unapproved plans has remained one of the major problems in the state. He instructed the building shall only be erected in Anambra Market with approval from the state physical planning and his signature affixed. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA has announced the dismantling and arrest of members of an organized criminal organization that specializes in trafficking heroin across Nigeria, South Africa, Mozambique, Europe, and America. The executive officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Mawa, who revealed this to journalists in Lagos, said they were arrested in 12-day, well-coordinated operation leading to the seizures of the single largest consignment of heroin at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. Sharon Ajay reports that the briefing is in line with the agency's policy of transparency in its renewed fight against drug traffickers.
While giving a chronological brief on the operation leading to the single largest seizure of heroin at the Lagos airport, NDLEA boss reeled out that operative of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command intercepted a suspicious package at the Sako import shed of the airport's cargo terminal. The consignment was concealed in a 15 cartons of 2,300 watts metal cutting machine. Each carton was stocked with 3 blocks of high-grade heroin. In total, the NDLEA recovered 45 blocks of illicit substance with a total weight of 49.70 kg. After the discovery, the official of the NDLEA started with the arrest of the freight agent, whose name is Olowolagba Wasiu Babatunde. It turned out that he was hired for clearing service by Mat P Logistic, a company operated by one Mr. Kola resident in South Africa. The officials then conducted a follow-up operation at the company's warehouse in the Shogunle area of Oshodi, Lagos State, and arrested the warehouse manager, whose name is Ajayi Imole Moses. Thereafter, set up an ambush for the expected receiver of the consignment, who was duly arrested when he showed up for collection. The receiver, whose name is Adinu Felix Chinedu, confessed during interrogation that he is the main distributor for a drug syndicate whose membership is spread across Nigeria. He admitted that he usually conveyed the consignment to a dedicated warehouse located in Ayobo. The place served as a workshop where he would dismantle the consignment and remove the drugs from the machines. Thereafter, he would wait for a list of various recipients to be forwarded to him from South Africa by the head of the criminal group. The NDLEA boss said several days of surveillance on the hotel culminated in a raid operation on Monday, February 19th, in which another drug mole, Iboanugo Chukwuemeka Tengod, was found in possession of 2 parcels of 2.2 kg heroin with codes similar to the ones found on the seized drug shipment, bringing the total seizure to 51.90 kilograms. He further explained that the primitive actions so far taken against members of the syndicate include freezing a total of 107 bank accounts associated with 14 members of the cartel, as well as 119,582,928.31 naira found in some of the already traced bank accounts. He added that the hotel and a mansion linked to the head of the syndicate in Nigeria, Reginald Peter Chidebere, and another mansion linked to the head of the syndicate in Mozambique, Festus Ibewike, located in Agor Palace area, had already been marked for forfeiture to the federal government. while commending the synergy and support the NDLEA enjoys from other stakeholders like custom, the military, immigration, police, DSS, NSCDC, FRSC, NAVDAC, Aviation Security, AVSEC, and the media, as well as international partners. Marwa said the agency would relent in its offensive actions targeting drugs baron and their network. He says agency is resolved to end the reign of drug barons and disconnect Nigeria from the global drug trafficking network. Sharana J reporting for Global TV News.
Of the Ibonal local government area have called out for help against the destruction of life and property meted on them by the people of Eket and Esreket local government areas under the edges of coalition of coastal Aboriginal communities of Akwa Ibom. The call was sequel to the invasions and attack on the Ibonal people by the members of the coalition. Verified information as that before a team of policemen and other security agencies could intervene and stop an accusation attempt on the mobile filling stations along QIT Road, Ibonal, owned by one Samuel Epeyong. The invaders killed 3 persons, maimed many others, and burned down over 24 houses, including 4 square church in Iwachang, a community in Ibonal. The Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Bill, has warned staff against getting involved in corrupt practices. Bill gave the warnings at the first quarter's Corps Marshal strategy session with commanding officers in Abuja, urging the staff to avoid tarnishing the image of the Corps. The Corps Marshal noted that corrupt practices must be dealt with, adding that any form of corruption will be met with severe consequences. The Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Moses says the Nigerian military is deploying more kinetic methods in light of their effectiveness in combating terrorism and other security challenges in the country. The city has started this at one-day seminar with the theme Civil-Military Relations, Non-Kinetic Effort of the Nigerian Military in Security Management, Challenges and Prospects, organized by the Defense Correspondents Associations of Nigeria. Kikelomo Kere presents details.
The traditional notion of war relying heavily on kinetic means is gradually being relegated, and the Nigerian military now seek to possess and apply non-kinetic approach to project power, secure interest, and solve problems. Speaking at the event, the Chief of Defense Staff says Nigeria, as a diverse and complex nation, faces a mirage of security threats that demand varying attention and concerted efforts to address insurgency and terrorism, intercommunal conflict, as well as transitional organized crimes and the mirror of other security challenges.
The Armed Forces of Nigeria, being the key driver in countering the myriad of security threats nationwide, has sustained non-military and soft strategies as a means to an end of these multifaceted threats. As Chief of Defense Staff, I'm highly aware of the multidimensional challenges that confront our nation in the domain of security. Nigeria, as a diverse and complex nation, faces a myriad of security threats that demand our unwavering attention and concerted efforts to address.
The Director General, Nigerian Army Resource Center, Major General Garba Wahab, and other stakeholders at the event says there is need to have journalists embedded by the military in its operation planning and execution, adding that embedding journalists in the planning and conduct of operation will help greatly in checking negative reports on the activities of security agencies. They therefore charge media practitioners to be patriotic in the performance of their duties and avoid reports that will be detrimental to national interest and security.
In Nigeria, it is the bad story that sells, and so we tend to look for sensational stories. And if you don't communicate, you cannot expect cooperation. You cannot expect collaboration. It's going to be difficult. And once those 3 things are absent, coordination becomes very, very difficult. And that's the major fact is the security situation in Nigeria.
Talk about security. When we talk about the situation of war, we all have a role to play. I believe that this gathering gives us an opportunity to x-ray what the military is doing.
I want to continue to appeal to you to please apply lots of restraint when you are handling your jobs.
We are all Nigerians. I'd like to sincerely thank you and commend you for the unwavering commitment of keeping the public informed, just like General Gusau has said, against all odds. Practicing journalism in Nigeria, especially covering the defense bit, has a lot of risks and safety consideration. But against all that, you have been there to ensure that the Nigerian society and the world is informed.
Earlier in his remark, DCAN President Ismail Musa says the theme of the event is aimed to reshape participants' minds towards effective service delivery, adding that the seminar is geared towards educating members of defense correspondents and the public about the ongoing soft approach adopted by the military in the quest to further secure the nation. The armed forces of Nigeria being the key defense entry countering the myriad of security threats nationwide have sustained non-military and soft strategies as a means to putting an end to the multifaceted threats. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
News Express coming to you live from Nigeria's capital Abuja on Star Times channel 276. Kali follows on all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, Nigeria gets 60% share of Afreximbank's $30 billion oil gas funding. These and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Express. Many thanks for staying with us. On the foreign scene, Hong Kong has axed 3 major property transaction taxes in a bid to revive the press housing market, Finance Minister Paul Chan said in his annual budget speech. The finance hub is among the world's least affordable residential markets, but home price retreated last year amid high interest rates and China's economic slowdown. Chan said Hong Kong immediately scrapped the 3 types of stamp duty, reversing the measures introduced more than a decade age to rein in speculation, fueled in part by mainland Chinese buyers. Now let's take a quick look at business. The federal government have announced that the $700 million Biafo Bureaucom gas pipeline, popularly called OB3, would be completed in March 2024, a project that commenced in 2016. He announced this at the ongoing 7th Nigeria International Energy Summit in Abuja, where President Bola Tinubu also provided some explanations on why his government had to remove petrol subsidy despite how difficult it was. Providing the couple of status report on Nigeria's gas sector during his remarks at the summit, the Minister of State for Petroleum Gas, Ekpe described the OB3 gas pipeline as one of the biggest gas transmission systems in both Nigeria and Africa. Now, the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kadoso, has vowed to pursue an aggressively regulatory environment to reduce infractions in the country's banking system. He said this in Abuja at the Monetary Policy Committee meeting of the Apex Bank, the first since he assumed office in September 2023. He also stated that an in-depth investigation was underway to determine the necessary actions against banks involved in infraction, stressing that the bank was in the process of formulating strict regulations to cleanse and purify the country's foreign exchange markets. The African Export-Import Bank have disclosed that it has become the largest financier of oil and gas projects in Africa. The bank disclosed investing $30 billion in industry projects, with Nigeria receiving 60% despite reduced global funding for hydrocarbon ventures in Africa. President Afro's Bank's Professor Benedict Ramos said Africa had to find innovative solutions to each energy deficit. Explained the continent lacks extensive traditional energy infrastructure, but stressed that this presents an opportunity to leapfrogging in the more efficient way through renewable technology. In the world of entertainment, South African police have apprehended 6 suspects connected with the murder of popular rapper Keenan Forbes, mostly known as AK Aka, and his close friend, celebrity chef and entrepreneur. The duo were murdered on February 10, 2023, while working with a friend outside a popular Dubai restaurant hours before he was to perform at a nearby club. Until his demise, he won several awards in South Africa and was lauded globally. He earned Black Entertainment Television's and MTV Europe nominations, and he was honored in the 2023 Birthday up awards. According to the police, the suspects are to appear in court on Thursday. French police have seized 72 firearms and more than 3,000 rounds of ammunition from the home of screen legend Alain Delon. A shooting range was also found at the actor's home in Douches, in about 135 kilometers south of Paris. Prosecutors said Delon did not have a permit to allow him to own a gun. The search was ordered after a court-appointed official sent to Delon's home noticed a weapon and alerted a judge. The breakdown of his family has also been making headlines in France. His three children have led their mutual grievances before the media in a series of insult, accusations, lawsuits, and secret recordings. Now, the Super Eagles star Victor Osimhen has gifted a young boy who will dress like him and showcase similar football skills with 2.5 million naira. The boy seen in a video wearing a mask resembling Osimhen's caught the attention of the footballer when popular Instagram blogger Tunde Ednut shared the clip on his page. Reacting to the video, Osimhen requested Ednut's assistance in locating the boy. Osimhen then reached out and gifted the boy, eliciting gratitude from his family, who shared a video thanking the footballer for his generosity. As we end the Global News Express, let's take a look at our top stories. President Tinubu have launched expatriate employment levy. Federal government said it have enrolled 750,000 Nigerians into health insurance scheme. Federal government said Nigerians wouldn't lose their jobs. And the foreign said Hong Kong scrapped property taxes to revive housing markets. And on sports, Victor Osimhen gave a young fan 2.5 million naira for imitating his style. And that is it on News Express. It came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. On Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now shown on your screen. I am Edikan Michael. Many thanks for watching. See you again.